LA Center, Raider 50 declaring emergency mid-air collision with Bolt 93. We have 2 engines out, we're leaking fuel and might be on fire, and an emergency descent at this time. Raider 50.
Well, hello. Welcome to Flightsimtoday. Now, for the more observant of you, you may hear a slight difference in my voice. I don't have COVID, I don't have a cold, but I'm no longer a mank, and I've now become a Birmingham lad. But don't worry, I'm standing in for Mr. Flightsimtoday, and today we're going to be doing a review of Gothenburg Landvetter from ORBX, which has just been released. Now, we're talking about Sweden's second largest airport here, with 7 million passengers annually to local European and long-haul destinations. As you can see, I'm clearly reading from the screen. This is going to be sort of for the UK population, around £13, and euros, €15. US dollars 17.69, or Australian dollars 24.99. What we want to do is just have a quick look at some of the key features that the guys are talking about here. So beautiful 4K depiction. I have had a quick look, and it definitely is. Looking around as well, you can really see the local community, buildings and things like that, which is beautiful. And the 4K textures really do stand out. But some of the other things to note as well is some of the new static aircraft that it mentions. Now, I'm not a fan of that, and I'll tell you why as we go through the review. Weather influenced ground textures as well, so a really good example of that is the rain. You'll see them change, and we'll look at that within the review as well. Want to talk around installation. Now, you'll probably note from the bottom, this isn't a small installation at all. This is 4 gigabytes, and it will take some time, and it has to be done from ORBX Central. So if we just load up our ORBX Central, and installation is, once you've done your purchase, it's just a matter of click install. I'm going to install mine to my main library, which is on a separate drive, which you can set up quite easily, or you can put it straight into your flight simulator folder. Main library. And what we'll do now is let that run its course and install. Whilst the installation is going on in the background, what I'd like to do is just go on a quick tour of the default airport here. I don't think it looks that bad actually. We'll just have a quick look around. You can see we've got the car park here. If I'm a little bit stuttery, it's because the installation's going on in the background. We have got our runway here and our taxiways. No markings of stand numbers, and if we just drop down, say hello to my citation as we go through. The main gates there. Oh, I'm a little bit stuttery, aren't I? The main gates are here, and no air bridges, as you'll see. And then as we continue, more car parks, no buildings on the horizon. We'll just note that off the default. And then cargo area at the bottom here, and we'll just gently pan round and see the difference as we look across the horizon. Still beautiful. Okay, so now let's take a look once the installation has taken place. Okay, so we now have the ORBX product loaded, and we can see a difference straight away. From this end of the runway again, we can now see that we've got what seems to be a cargo terminal with lorries there, all stacked up and ready to go. We'll just go and have a little bit closer look, which looks quite nice. Then there's the car park that we saw originally, with a de-icing area. It all looks very good. Let's have a quick look down the runway. Now, just looking across the local area, again, looks quite similar to the default, with the addition of a bit more water from what wasn't showing up before. And we will zoom down the runway and have a quick look. Pretty, I'd say, standard taxiways, standard markings, not too dissimilar to the default. But as we get a little bit closer, let's have a look. Now, the first thing you'll notice on here is we have static aircraft. Now, pet hate of mine, I'm afraid. I don't know why ORBX have included them, If you're flying on VATSIM, quite often you're going to find that you've got other people spawning on top of static aircraft, and it becomes a problem. And I can't find anywhere within the settings to disable it or turn it off. So that's a bit of a thumbs down in terms of the static. Now, if you don't fly online, you may find that the static's a good addition. It's just personal preference. And as I say, for me, not my thing. But let's just have a quick closer look at some of the textures. Now, I don't know if the real life airport has got textures along the lines here with the square markings. I wouldn't mind having a look, actually. That I don't know if I'm a fan of that. If it's there in real life, then absolutely would be a fan. But apart from that, I think this looks really nice here. Now, no more getting lost when taxiing. We have gate numbers, which is beautiful. We have all of the lighting here as well, which we'll have a look at soon when it goes dark. We'll zoom along. I love this. This is great. We've got our car park and terminal buildings behind, and office buildings and multi-storey car park as well. Now, one thing I do notice on here is the cars are parked nicely. It might sound funny, but some of the other reviews we do, some of these cars are just thrown onto the scene and they look a bit of a mess. So I think that's a really good positive there. And we've got the fueling area as well, the fuel storage area. Now I wonder, now on some of these sceneries, we get to go inside. Can we go inside? Let's have a look. No, it's dark. Someone's turned out all the lights. Let's have a look inside here. So we do have an element of a terminal building here, look. But it's not as good as what I have seen on some of the others. But I'm going to be totally honest. Who actually buys scenery because you can look inside? You don't, do you? Well, I don't. That's a nice touch with the departure boards on there as well. And let's just have a quick look around. Inside the gates. And into the air bridges as well. And let's come around and have a look back up here. Got some baggage carts around as well. You know, the actual modelling and design of this is beautiful. It looks really, really good. Let's go down inside the main terminal building and have a look what we've got in here. So we have got some modelling here actually, which is quite nice. Back to the static with my griping going on. All in all, this looks really nice. And then here we are back to the cargo area on here, which is wonderful. And we've got a little hangar here as well. We are back. Okay, so what I'd like to do now, let's just introduce some weather. Now what I'd like to see, a shiny surface like I do on other areas. In terms of the textures, I'm not feeling it's soaking wet here. Let's get a little bit closer and have a look. Now up close, you actually do get that feeling, look. You can see the raindrops landing. And you do get the reflections. Yeah, okay, I buy that. A little bit higher, you seem to lose that feeling a little bit. That looks quite nice with the lighting as well. Okay, so let's zoom down to this end and we'll go back to clear skies, but we'll bring in some nighttime lighting. Let's have a look around at nighttime. ORBX shout an awful lot on their website there. And let's just come in a little bit closer and have a look. The green lighting, when it gets pitch black, is a godsend. When we look at some of the default airports, like Edinburgh is a good example, where they don't have anything at all. It is a real challenge at night time. Coming down, let's have a quick look at the terminal buildings, see what we've got here. Again, you know, that looks realistic, that looks absolutely beautiful, it really does. Let's just, again, we will just go and have a look inside. Yeah, you would buy that's night time. That's good. That's really good. and we've got the lighting back on as well from there. All in all, I'm really impressed with the quality and the overall finish. You can see that this road isn't on the default either, and I love the way they've worked on that. I think this is beautiful. I think they've done an amazing job, and look at the water reflections on there now. So on approach, that will look absolutely stunning. Yeah, I love that, I really do. So let's take a look now in the winter and see how the airport fares. Quite like the overall look of that. These does look really realistic. Let's have a quick look at why, just wondering why we have these circular bits that have got de-icer on, but then the other main bits haven't. It's quite interesting why they've done that, but just about make out the yellow lines and the green lights looking through as well. But the scenery all around through the sim does look beautiful, doesn't it? Quite like the way it looks like these areas are being cleared. I just think the transition that goes from this particular part into this particular part doesn't look that realistic. Then when all of a sudden you get to this bit where it looks like a Scalextric track, and where it's been electrically heated underneath, underfloor heating on that little part there. I just don't understand why you've got those different textures. You'd either leave it all the same, or around the main apron and taxiways, my advice would have been to make it look like it's being cleared and de-iced, just like this bit up here really. But hey ho, it still looks nice. It's not a bad look at all. Okay, and for the final part of the video, we're just going to have a little bit of a fly over the airport and have a look from a day perspective on approach to the runway. Appreciate I'm a little bit high, but I'm not coming to land. I'm just simply coming to have a little fly around. So let's have a look.
500.
Yeah, I think that's so smooth and lovely. The textures are just right, aren't they? There we go. We should just have a fly over. Yeah, that's really nice. So in final summary, guys, I think the cost, it's well worth it at its cost. Its price point is nothing like the old P3D and FSX days when you were buying scenery at £30–40 ago. I think the price is really good. In terms of the texture quality, I think it's really nice in all weathers. Some of the downsides, I don't like the static aircraft. In fact, some people, as I say, it's debatable, do like the static aircraft. I really think there should be an option where you can turn it on or off, because for me it just doesn't work when I'm flying online. I'm going to see lots of people spawning on top of these aircraft here. The rain textures are lovely. The snow textures, I think, are okay to start with, but we'll need some future remodeling to make it more realistic. But for the price as well, it's really good. The performance and the frame rate is really good. The night lighting is outstanding. So overall, I really do like this scenery. And so hopefully you've liked the review. Please make sure you do subscribe and like the video if you do, to keep in touch with FlightSimToday and all these latest reviews that are being done. Apart from that, I hope you're well and take care, and we shall see you soon. Bye bye now.